This is a defining moment and the time many Nigerians have been waiting for to know the candidates of both the APC and PDP. This weekend, the PDP will have its own presidential primary in Abuja and then followed by APC between Sunday and Monday. But by this Saturday, at least the PDP will start its own. Nigerians have been waiting for who is going to emerge as the candidate of both parties. Well, we know that about 17 aspirants collected PDP presidential forms, but 15 have been given a go-ahead by the screening committee, and 15 survived the screening. So meaning that 15 aspirants are expected to slug it out at that primary. But be as it may, we know we have contenders and pretenders. There are many pretenders in PDP, so also in APC. But let's first talk about PDP. In PDP, where many analysts have been going around the town for some days now to say that it's likely to be it's going to be a contest among 4 or 5 aspirants. So meaning that between now and Saturday, we are likely to see some of the pretenders stepping down for the strong aspirants. People like Fayoshe will certainly going to step down, no doubt about that. So we will know who some of them are fronting for. But the major 4 people are talking about, well, not in order of any, I'm not listing them, maybe who getting what or who's coming first. But to observe protocol, we have Vice President Atiku Abubakar, we have a former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and then we have a current governor of Rivers State, Mr. Nyesom Wike, and some people may want to add Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa. As it is now, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to say who will carry the day. But one thing is obvious, is that PDP has told us, has told Nigerians, that where they are not talking about zoning, they are not going to zone their presidency so that they are free, that is to say, their presidential candidate may emerge from any part of the country. And as I've said, how would delegates view these aspirants vis-a-vis who can win the election? It's still very difficult. But what is obvious is that the PDP is likely to come out with a very transparent indirect primaries where delegates will directly decide who is going to fly the party's ticket. I'm saying that with the Electoral Act, we are going to have about 2,340 delegates that will decide the candidate directly. Well, we don't know what many factors will come to play. Money will come to play. Interest will come to play. But at the end of the day, we expect PDP to come out with a candidate that many Nigerians will want to trust. We expect PDP, at least for this time around, the delegates will want to vote for whoever they think will be able to face APC and deliver on the mandate and get PDP back to the presidency. As you all are aware, PDP has ruled this country for 16 years before APC came, I think, and won in 2015. So PDP had stayed long outside the government house, and then they will desire, and their desire is to defeat APC, but that determines on the candidates, the competence, the national spread, and acceptability of their candidates that will emerge from these primaries. At the end of the day, some people were saying that by the time they get to the convention ground, the South wanted, the Southern governors had really canvassed that presidency should come to the South. people will prevail, might prevail on Vice President Atiku to step down for Saraki, because there are a lot of campaigns against Vice President Atiku even within their caucus, that this man have had it a number of times, and the PDP may not be able to wait or continue to give him chance and continue to lose indefinitely. So there's a lot of pressure on him that he may have to step down for Saraki. So at the end of the day, the contest might be between Saraki and Peter Obi. If that happens, how will delegate votes? It's another thing entirely. And a lot of people have been running away, where we're going to have a contest between the North and South. If you have to come to the APC, APC will start its own primaries on Sunday to run through Monday, where it's going to be another very, very interesting episode for Nigerians to watch. The President Buhari is going to determine, I believe, has a role to play in determining who emerges as a candidate of APC. There's nothing we can do to that. He is the incumbent president. And if you recall, he's told the world that he has a favorite candidate, though he has not mentioned his favorite candidate. So, but almost all party leaders that went to him to seek his blessing, the man endorsed them to go and try their luck. But the man knew what he wanted to do, and I'm sure at the appropriate time, by this weekend, we will know where at least he will pitch his tent. But if you look at the major, most of the aspirants, as it is now, about 25 of them, I think, has collected their 100 million forms. Though not all of them are still in the race, but as we are talking, we have about 20 or 21 still much in the race, as they say. But as I said earlier, we have some contenders and pretenders. So we have some that are like John the Baptist. You know, I think they are forerunners. We have some of them like that, but we have strong contenders. Among the strong contenders, and I'm very sure among these 6, we are going to have the candidate of APC. From the Southwest here, we have a Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, so also the national leader of the party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the chairman of the Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, who's also governor of Ekiti State. We have those 3 from the Southwest. And from the other side of the South, and the Southeast, so we have Ogbonna Yahonu, the 70-year-old man, who are saying that the president is looking at his side. Then we have also Minister of Transport, who was also a former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, and the former Minister of State for Education, Wajuba. Those 3, they are from this east, but where some people will say Rotimi Amechi is from South, but the man has come to tell you that it's an Igbo man. That yes, and you cannot doubt it. That's an Igbo man. So we are saying that we have 3 from the Southwest, and we have 3 now from the Southeast to say in the APC. But their own will be certainly different from that of the PDP. Why delegates are expected to determine who might be the flag bearer of PDP, the presidency factor is strong enough to swing votes in favor of any of these aspirants, the 6 aspirants I mentioned in the APC. What I'm saying in essence, we don't know where the president wants it to be. If the president says the vice president should continue with what they are doing, good for him. If the president says, well, for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but we know that the campaign strategy, and the work Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done has gone beyond a single person deciding his fate. I don't see Asiwaju Tinubu allowing just sentiments that may not resonate well with most Nigerians to decide his fate. So meaning that Asiwaju is a very strong contender that many people believe one way or the other will have his name in the ballot paper. I'm not sure if GuardianTV, if he is not, at the end of the day, the choice of the president, can do anything outside, want to do anything outside APC. I'm not sure of that one. I'm not sure. But to APC, we are yet to, the APC is yet to convince us that he wants to have a kind of a primaries that will allow delegates at least to really have a say. If delegates will do anything in the APC convention, the primaries, maybe to go on a farm, affirmation. Maybe that's the only role they are going to play, because they will have settled this on the table. And at the end of the day, we may also see a case of what happened in PDP to also happen in APC convention, meaning that if at the end of the day, the South West aspirants may have to go and pick somebody among the major three contenders, or the Southeast also to go and pick, get just one person. That will be very difficult. That will be very difficult. But at the end of the day, I think we'll see the presidency playing a vital role on who emerges as the candidate of APC. And that's not far-fetched. If you consider how the chairman of the party emerged, you know, in the kind of democracy we operate, and many people will tell you that one of the most powerful presidents in the world is Nigerian president. Not as powerful as to compare with American president when it comes to the real power. But when I'm talking of ability to abuse power, ability to use power, you know, without resorting to constitutional provisions, you understand, Nigerian president is very powerful. You get my point? So with that one, I think, I don't see any of these aspirants. I think most of them, I think I can tell you that 70% of most of these aspirants, I don't see them saying no to Mr. President. So if 70% of them cannot say no to Mr. President, it makes the job easier. Because I can assure you that immediately Mr. President begins to show direction he's looking at, you see some of them chicken out. And that is the truth about some of these people we have. You know what? We are not the kind of democracy we run in Nigeria here. You can't compare it with what obtains elsewhere, where people at least can stand on their conviction and ready to damn the consequence. So we have very few politicians that can do that. And APC, if you ask me, I don't think we have more than one or two that can say no to Mr. President, that I want to go ahead, whether you pick me or you didn't pick me, whether I'm your favorite candidate or not. No, I want Nigerians to determine my fate. So no, I think about delegates to determine my fate. So I don't think we have more than one or two in among all these APC presidential aspirants. And look, Mr. President, highball to highball, and tell sir, I'm going, and whether you pick me or not, I'm going for this election. So the Mr. President is going to play a very crucial role in determining who emerges as the candidate of APC. No doubt about that. You know, I think if the stories flying around in some parts of the country were anything to go by with the primaries, PDP primaries, where inducement, I think, were reported. Well, I think two things that were not clear are this. One, they mentioned of a particular person that gave delegates to 2 million naira, and when he did not win the election, he was now going to the houses with vigilante and others to collect his money back. Yes. One, if you are to analyze that one, are we saying that the other person who won the primaries did not give them anything? Or if he gave them 2 million naira each, how much did that person give them? Right? If the particular person we are talking about, as they reported, gave out 2 million, but if the other person gave out 3 or 4 million, it's not for highest bidder, then what are we talking about? But who will have been a better country now? If I say, okay, you gave us 2 million, we collect, yes, we collect 2 million, but the man we voted for didn't give us a dime. Do you understand? I think we would have been happier, but we have not gotten information about that one, that well, the man who won, did he offer anything or did not offer anything? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but if indeed, he didn't offer a dime, and people collected 2 million and still voted for another person who did not give them money, we can say bravo to Nigerian democracy. You understand? But if he gave them 2 million and the other person gave 2.5 or 3 million, then what are we talking about? So we are not saying anything. So we are still saying that that means the ticket goes to the highest bidder. And that has been the fear of many people, that these politicians, they have enough money to spend. Somebody it's like a joke that in Lagos, in Abuja now, it's difficult for you to get dollars. Was that all the politicians have been, at least they just buy any dollar available for the purpose of inducing the delegates. People are saying that. Though we cannot confirm it. But if that is the case, how much are they ready to give each delegate? So if the delegates are going to heavily induce, yes, I'm not sure, I don't know how PDP will do his own, that at least the delegates will not be induced. I don't know. But even APC, I don't know how they will do that delegates will not be induced. But how much of that will happen, one, and how will it affect the outcome of the primaries? It's another thing. But if people collected money and we still have the determination, the strong will to vote according to their conscience, good for democracy, good for Nigerians. But if they were induced and because they've collected the money and voted the wrong candidate, I'm sure if one party gets it right, other parties don't get it right, they are still coming to face the electorate. Winning primary is not the ultimate. So you can win your party's primary, but they are still coming to face Nigerians. And I want to tell you that the next 2023 election is going to be a different ball game. A different ball game in the sense that I don't know the kind of many things Nigerians were able to accept it in 2015. I'm not seeing those things coming into play again, because APC was successful in demonizing PDP, being corrupt, right? I think that everything bad, that anything you can talk, anything that is bad in politics is the PDP. But they cannot come to Nigerians and say that again, because it's like to Nigerians there's no difference between APC and PDP. So with what is happening in APC, so they cannot tell us PDP is corrupt again. So both of them are the same. They are twins. They are Siasim twins. Do you get my point now? So the factors that will determine next year election is going to be completely different from what happened. And most of the elements who said they were corrupt in PDP had found themselves in APC. No, not just in APC, but in leadership positions. So, but for any party to win election 2023, this is the starting point. Once they get it right in their primaries, Nigeria will look at the process, one, and Nigeria will want to know, I think, the pedigree, integrity, competence of whoever that's coming, that's emerging as the candidate of the party. Once you get it right in electing or choosing the right candidate, then I think you are half to winning the election. Halfway to winning the election. My personal opinion may not represent the interests or generality of opinions in Nigeria about candidates. I think, we are all political animals. we have a telescope, the way we view at least candidates or aspirants. So my personal opinion may not represent a totality of what Nigerians want. But we know that I think a Nigerian certainly will want to see a president that's competent, that is agile, that can deliver, that can handle the economy and security better. Economy as it is badly managed. And I challenge anybody, I think, to at least come out and debate this one. Because when PDP was in government before, they were able to bake a very big cake for the country. You know, this economy managed by people like Konjo-Iweala. These are the world experts. I think so. They were able to stabilize the economy and they bake a very big cake for the country. But unfortunately, the politicians of that era, I think, stole the gain, I think, of that brilliant economic policies. But this time around, I think those who are managing the economy now are very weak. Anybody can doubt their competence, sorry to say. Do not stand, because in Nigeria now, just buy anything now, go there tomorrow. I think you won't get the price, the same thing. So the inflation rate is just going as if nobody's in charge. So things are bad in the country now. So Nigerians can easily relate to what we were buying 5, 10, 6, 7 years ago. Even there was a time in this country that prices were stable. You know, anything you buy, you can say, no, whatever you buy today, tomorrow you meet the same price. But not again Nigeria. So all indices, at least have shown that the economy is not well managed. Not about that. So Nigerians want to see who can manage the economy very well. Nigerians also want to see who has the ability to supervise very well, who is agile, who is able, that can supervise. Have you seen our president, the current president, for one day going to any site to supervise any of the projects being done? It's never happened. So Nigeria now needs a president that will not just sit down like a monarch, where people come to pay homage and reporting to him. But they want to see somebody who go on the field and see what is happening. So Nigeria also want to see who will handle the security very well, without sentiment, without emotion, without any attachment. And it will deal with criminals like criminals, and then let Nigerians sleep with their 2 eyes closed. So, but the aggregate opinion of Nigerians, I hope, should give us a good president. So my personal opinion of who can be president, I think may not at least represent the totality of what Nigeria wants. And having said that, we cannot run out the possibility of a third force at this moment. After the primaries, there's going to be backlash. After the primaries, depending on how they handle it, we may see some powerful politicians, at least that may not happy at the end of the day, go and strengthen 1 or 2 parties. People are touting maybe SDP will at least bounce back and have a relevance in 2023. Yes, people are saying that, and people are still talking about NNPP, already. As well, which already making waves in Kano and some other states. But it will be difficult for any party, as this is Nigeria now, apart from APC and PDP, to have a very good outing in 2023. Because where would that structure comes from? Election is how many months away? How will we build the structure? How will it happen? But it's very difficult. But yes, we are likely to have a third force. But winning election in Nigeria now outside PDP and APC is still very difficult, at least to imagine. You know what? You need structure to win election. You need structure to win election. You understand? NNPP in Kano State, we are talking of one state in 36 states now. How many states have we heard of NNPP? How many governors are in NNPP? How many senators are in NNPP? How many members of House of Rep and NNPP, right? So it's, but I'm sure that emotion, frustration will take some politicians to go and join those parties. Yes, they can have some skeletal victory in some constituencies in some 1 or 2 states, maybe Kano or wherever, I don't know. But when I'm talking about national politics, no, I think we don't see it happening now. You need a structure to make an impact.